Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have some Valentine's Dollar Tree DIYs for you, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. For this DIY, I'm going to take one of these signs that I got from the Dollar Tree. Now, I love these because they have the little wood frame around them that you can actually remove. So all I do is take a flathead screwdriver and I kind of pry in between each of the pieces and the backboard, and I just lift those frame pieces up. Now, I'm going to take some scrapbook paper that you can get off of my website. I just think this is so gorgeous, and I'm loving these colors for Valentine's Day and all the flowers. I just thought it was super pretty. So I'm just going to kind of lay it out, use my X-Acto knife, and trim off the excess scrapbook paper that I don't need for this sign. Now, all I did was use a good old glue stick to adhere my scrapbook paper to the back of the sign. Nothing too fancy or crazy because those frame pieces are also going to help hold down the scrapbook paper as well on all of the edges. So once that is all on there, then I'm just going to take some hot glue and reattach my frame pieces to my sign. Now I'm going to take one of these metal envelopes that I also got from the Dollar Tree, and I just wanted to kind of change it up just a little bit, but nothing too crazy. So all I'm going to do is take my Waverly Wax in Antique and a cloth, kind of dab around the raised parts of the envelope, just trying to make it look a little bit different. And then I'm also going to take my Waverly chalk paint in Ballet Slipper, and I'm going to take it on a little brush and kind of dab it all along those raised pieces as well. Now, when I was doing this, I kind of changed my mind a little bit. I did end up taking a cloth and going over the entire thing with my Waverly Wax, just kind of in a dabbing motion. And then I also took that Ballet Slipper color and went around the edges with just a dabbing motion with my brush, just to add a little bit more pink in there, and really just to make this piece pop off of the sign just a little bit more. And then once that was done and my paint is dry, I'm just going to take some hot glue and hot glue this to the center of my sign. Now, I still felt like there was something missing, so I'm going to take some of this lace ribbon from the Dollar Tree and I'm going to use this to frame out my sign as well. You'll still be able to see part of that wood frame underneath it, but I think that adding the lace ribbon really just added that perfect extra touch. So all I'm going to do is take those strips that I've cut for around my sign, and I'm going to hot glue those down around the sign, and that is it for this DIY. You could add a really cute hanger to the back of it using some beads and some twine. You could also add a bow and some greenery. So many different ways that you could also finish this, but I just think this turned out so stinking cute. For this DIY, I'm going to grab one of these cutting boards that I found from the Dollar Tree. I thought this was so much fun, and I flipped it on its back and used my Waverly chalk paint in Ballet Slipper, and I gave this 2 good coats of paint. Now, you can always finish the back pieces of your DIY projects. I tend to not, because it just takes so much more time, and a lot of these are just for my YouTube channel, so I don't feel the need to do that. But if that is something that you'd like, just remove the back portion of the sign and paint it as well. Now I'm going to use this CRICUT transfer, the XOXO portion. I'm not going to use the little conversation bubble, but I am just going to use the letters XOXO on there, and I'm going to use my shimmering bright white on there, and I love the sparkle that it gives to this project. I just think it's so adorable. So all I do is squeegee my paste on top of my transfer, and then I'm just going to remove my transfer and wash it so I can use it for future projects. Now, once that's dry, I'm going to take my twine and wrap it around the handle portion of my cutting board several times up to the top, and then just hot glue it in the back. And then I also tied a really simple shoelace bow with some twine, and I just hot glued that to the bottom of the handle. Now I'm going to take some of this Dollar Tree lace ribbon. I'm just going to hot glue it around the back of my cutting board. And then these paper flowers came from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to take 3 of them and hot glue them to the bottom of my cutting board. And that is it for this DIY. Look how cute this is, and I think it's just a perfect color of pink for Valentine's Day. For this DIY, I'm going to grab this love cutout from the Dollar Tree. Now, DIYing does not have to be crazy and hard and intimidating. You could do simple projects like this. All I'm going to do is take some of this scrapbook paper off of my website, moorevinyldecals.com. You can pick one of these up. It is double-sided as well. And I'm going to trace this piece onto my scrapbook paper, and I'm going to cut my scrapbook paper out. So like I said, this isn't hard, this isn't too complicated or crazy. This is a quick and easy project, and it's taking something a little bit more plain and turning it into something really, really cute and a perfect side piece for your Valentine's Day decor to go on a shelf or even on a counter or a table. I just think that this one is so much fun and super simple and easy to do. So all I do is cut it out using my scissors, and then for the O and the L and the E, I take my X-Acto knife and cut those middle portions out. Then I'm just going to use my glue stick to glue my paper onto my word cutout. You could use Mod Podge as well. I just am more comfortable using a glue stick. And then when you put your paper on there, sometimes you have a little bit of overhang. I like taking my X-Acto knife and going around it and kind of trimming it up so everything is nice and even and you don't have spots that are overhanging too much from your word cutout. Now I wanted to do something a little bit extra to give it a little bit more detail. I'm just taking my Waverly Wax and Antique, and I'm just going along all the edges. I'm kind of giving it more of a worn look, more of a distressed look, so it doesn't look like just scrapbook paper on top of your word cutout. It's giving it a little extra distressing to make it look a little worn. And that's all you have to do for this DIY. Super, super easy, and I love the way that it turned out. Now for this DIY, I'm going to take one of these house cutouts from the Dollar Tree. I'm taking my heat gun and I am heating up that flour. I'm going to heat up all the glue that is holding the felt on there, and I'm going to get that all removed so my piece lays nice and flat. So for the back side, which is now the front side of our project, I'm going to take 2 of my Dixie Belle chalk paints. I believe the colors are Soft Pink and Burlap from Dixie Belle paint. I always have a link in my description box if you're ever interested, but I wanted more of a brown toned pink, so I took both of those paints and mixed it together, more of the pink than the burlap color. So I just mix those together, and then I am going to paint the back of this house with that. I just used 1 coat, and I also painted the bottom and all the sides and the top. And then going in with my CRICUT Valentines minis, I'm going to take this really pretty heart that has all these floral patterns to it. And I am going to use one of these Dollar Tree DIY stickers. I'm just going to lay that transfer right on top. And then again, using my shimmery white chalk paste, I am going to apply my chalk paste to my transfer and remove that transfer. Super, super easy. If you're ever interested in CRICUT, I always have a link in my description box. Also, starting January 10th for CRICUT, you can earn free products with qualifying purchases. So that's January 10th through the 31st. So kind of a more you spend, the more free stuff you get. And then also starting January 10th, a selection of past creative Kickstart transfers will also be available for customers at 20% off. And then if you are Club Couture members, you can get those for 50% off. If there's ever an incentive to become a Club Couture member, that's definitely one you get an even further discount. If you don't know what Club Couture is, it's a monthly subscription service for them. I love it. I think it's really fun, but those are some of the promotions starting January 10th for CRICUT. If you've ever wanted to try them out, I think it's a perfect time to do so because you're getting free stuff and things are on sale. So while that is off to the side drying, I'm going to take some of this lace ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to wrap it around the top portion of my house, hot glue it in the back, and then I'm going to take some twine and I just wrap it around on top of that ribbon probably about 4 or 5 times, and then I just tie it together in the back. And then I am going to take a couple pieces of this greenery. I'm going to hot glue each piece to the side, and then I'm going to take that heart and I'm going to hot glue that right in the middle. And that's it for this DIY. I think this turned out absolutely adorable. And that's it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe before you guys leave. Let me know what your favorite project was in the comments down below. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!